All right, so we're looking at the M4A89GTD motherboard from ASUS, but this is not the regular version. It's not the vanilla. It's the USB 3.0 version. Now, this is a really popular motherboard for AMD fans. It does have integrated ATI HD 4290 graphics. It does do hybrid crossfire. It does have PCI Express 2.0 support. It does support the AM3 processors, but it didn't have USB 3.0, but now it does because they have added it on this excellent motherboard. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to start you off pointing you towards the CPU. It is socket AM3, so it's going to support your Phenom 2s and your Athlon 2s, as well as the 100 series Semprons. As far as memory goes, you can do up to 16 gigabytes of DDR3, 1333 natively, or 1866 with overclocking. This does use the 890GX North Bridge, as well as the SB850 South Bridge. Now, that chipset is incredible because it does support SATA 6, and I will show you right down here. You do have SATA 6 gigabit per second ports. There's actually 6 of them. So very impressive, that Southbridge chipset, the SB850. It doesn't just give you, the regular SATA 3 gigabit per second and then a few of these. It's a completely separate Southbridge chipset, and you have 4 that face up and 2 that face to the side. So that's absolutely incredible. Like I mentioned, this does have ATI Radeon HD 4290 graphics. It's 512 megabytes of dedicated side port memory. It does have GPU boost as well. This is actually a overclocking kind of utility for the onboard GPU that's going to automatically overclock it, and it's going to give you a huge boost of performance. Ironically enough, just increasing the frequency by like 100 something megahertz, it actually increases your performance by 40%. It's really impressive, and I'm talking about like 3D Mark Vantage scores. It's really impressive. 140 watt CPU support obviously is really cool. It's going to let you support the latest processors. Plus, this is the motherboard that lets you unlock certain cores on some of those Phenom 2 and Athlon 2 processors. The quad cores or the tri cores let you open up the 4th core. So that's very useful as well. Now, as far as graphics go, you do have 2 PCI Express X16 2.0s. Those will let you do Crossfire X, X8, X8. They do bifurcate down because the Northbridge chipset only allows 16 lanes. Well, it actually allows more, but you also got to provide the X4, the X1, and then the PCIs. But you do get X8 with most video cards. You're just going to see about a 1% performance drop, so not really a big deal. Like I said, an X1 PCI Express, good for sound cards. The X4, hey, RAID cards, TV tuners, you name it, it'll fit in there. It's pretty awesome. And then over here, you do also have 2 standard PCIs. While we're down here, I'm going to go ahead and show you. You do have a bunch of USB 2.0 ports down here at the bottom. So if you want to add any headers to the back or the front of your computer, you can do that as well. I'm going to move you now to the back panel. You got a PS2 for your keyboard and mouse, USB 2.0 ports. This is your HDMI. Again, you can do hybrid Crossfire X. It will pump out through here if you just want to use basically the integrated graphics chipset. But if you want to throw a video card in there, switch it over. It'll do hybrid Crossfire X. SPDIF, this is the digital one, Toslink. Over here, 2 more USB 2.0 ports, FireWire, an eSATA. These are your USB 3.0s, 10 times faster than the standard, which is 480 megabit per second. These are 4.8 gigabit per second. Huge increase in performance, very fast. Right up here, 10100, 1000 Ethernet. And then the ALC 892 chip is powering this 7.1 channel HD audio, which is absolutely incredible. This is one of the best onboard chips you can get on a motherboard as far as audio goes. And that's basically it. Very nice board. It does have the hybrid technology as far as pulse width modulation goes, multiple phases. It's got all the really good stuff that you'd expect on an ASUS motherboard, like solid state caps and ferrite core chokes. Everything's non-conductive polymer based. So very high-end board. It does come with a 3-year warranty. It's built to last. It's from ASUS. You can flash the BIOS with a flash drive. It has the turbo key and the core unlocker. If you haven't seen those, right over here you have these little switches. Very simple to use. You want to unlock a core, you flip a switch. You want a turbo key, basically like a self-overclocking, you crank it on. If you want to use really fast memory and you're just really having a hard time getting it to post because the memory is running at its higher speed, this is the Memo K button. You push it. It sets up latencies and frequencies that are going to work to get the computer booted, that you can get into the BIOS, change it yourself. I mean, this is a really well thought out, powerful board. So there you have it, the M4A89GTD from ASUS. If you're an AMD fanboy, it's absolutely perfect. It's got all the latest specs, SATA 6 gigabit per second, USB 3.0. It's going to last you forever. It's an awesome board, and I believe the way that I've heard is that as soon as there's a BIOS update for it, it will support the 6-core AMD Thuban chips that are going to come out. So very nice as far as that's concerned as well. Have any questions, email me. I'll see you guys next time. For more information on the ASUS M4A89GTD PRO motherboard with USB 3.0, type in A455-2938 into any major search engine.